Port's walls this morning rushing in. There's no screening, no security checks, just force of numbers. When they do manage to push aboard planes, they're so crowded, pilots won't take off. And no one agrees to disembark. It's all happening just a few hundred yards from the military side of Kabul airport, now separated by a row of barbed wire from the civilian side, in chaos. The military side is where the U.S. is staging an elaborate evacuation of American diplomats from the embassy.
Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, and yeah, it's getting really real. All the guarantees are going out the window. Hey, the U.S., man, it used to be a time where a guarantee from the U.S., that meant something. All right, credit from them, you meant something. Not anymore. Like I said, man, the U.S. is evacuating their troops. They're evacuating, their interpreters. But what they're gonna tell you is they're the Afghani, the ones who their interpreters, they never received a visa, so they can't necessarily come to any of the Western states. They're gonna have to stay. All right, and this is one of the reasons why these nations are hate the U.S. because they'll come into your country. All right, they'll put a garrison there. They'll put they'll have spies in your country. They'll interfere with your politics, and then at a certain point, they'll just leave. So now you're stuck in a civil war, or now one side, is at war with each other, and boom, all a problem, all stemming back to Esau Edom. All right, just like in all these previous world wars, World War I, World War II, they were backed by Esau Edom, namely Amalek. All right, the warfare. The machinery. Okay, the clothing, the money behind it. Hey, the Germans. Hey, the Puma, Adidas, Volkswagen, a lot of these companies they have to this day, those were companies associated with the Nazis. Then those businessmen who did business with them, they were allowed to come here to the United States, even though that was supposed to be their sworn enemy. So, with Esau Edom, there's no more guarantees. And that's why the currency is losing. Everything's losing, man. Everything is losing.
But even here, Afghans managed to push through, willing to cling onto an aircraft as it took off, rather than stay in Afghanistan. Afghans say the Americans are only focused on getting U.S. citizens out, along with some interpreters. Although tens of thousands of translators still have no U.S. visas, so they too are left to the Taliban. The militants took control of Kabul yesterday.
Stuck. Yep, you're stuck in your own country. Got to deal with your own people. Stuck. Second Ezra 15. We've been watching this play out for a few years now. In 28, behold a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, and that's what we're seeing, man. The nations of the dragon. It said the nations, so multiple nations because that's how those Ishmaelites and those different sons of Abraham, those nations. That's how they get down. They move around the desert. And they'll be in this part, then they'll be in that part. They'll be over here in the cave over there. Right? They say the nations of the dragons of Arabia. So they really about to turn up heavy. Right? And the reason why the West has to keep a hand in their business and be over there like that is because they're a direct threat to Israel, which is also in the region. Right? And if they allow them to get too big, they'll take over, and eventually they'll be able to go into Israel and get those people out of there. In the West, they don't want that, right? Because that's the primary allies with Israel. And the Armenians, we know, are the Iranians.
We watched the move in. Kabul is falling now. We've just left our office, our longtime home in Afghanistan, and we're heading to a safer location, what we hope will be a safer location.
You're talking about your home, you're in another person's country, man. That's why Esau's scripture say he keepeth not at home. He talking about you was at home, you was comfortable in somebody else's country, influencing. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't be mad, but you can be mad, but Esau Edom has to fulfill his lot. Just the pride. What did you think was gonna happen? You thought you was gonna be there forever? You thought you was gonna set up a McDonald's, set up a Walmart, and just chill? Nope. It's time to come down. And these people here in the States, their time is coming up too.
Already we've seen some gunmen who look like Taliban on the streets, and all of the government checkpoints, all the police, all the soldiers, they're gone. Now the Taliban are out in full force. They took over the presidential palace, occupied Kabul's version of the Oval Office. Afghanistan's president fled the country. The Taliban have set up checkpoints across the Afghan capital, and their Islamist rule is already coming back. This was a popular beauty salon, styling women's hair and makeup. The Taliban banned salons, along with education for women and girls. So when the Taliban came back, now they've painted over the beauty shop. People here know what the Taliban want. They know what the Taliban expect. We watched a man tear up the beauty parlor's sign, in line with the Taliban's wishes. The Taliban don't just control Kabul, but the whole country, and all the weapons the U.S. bought for the Afghan army. There are also reports of atrocities, including abduction.
Yep. So all the weapons they bought them, they took them over. So it's about that time, right? Because and Biden, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he better not fall asleep at the wheel. What? But they're gonna go over there. It's prophesied. We have to go over there anyway. All right, that final battle. And what's interesting, Revelation 17. Matter of fact, as far as verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest, or 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Now, this is talking about the economic, the European Economic Union. Here's the famous sign. And of course, you got the whore that sitteth on many waters, the great whore. The beast, 7 heads, 10 horns. And then these 10 horns, like I said, the common marker or the European Economic Union community, which is these different countries. And this is fresh after the Olympics, which that was supposed to unite the world, right? No. These people want their country back. Right? It said, and these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Okay, so you got many people, many nations, many different languages that they speak, all under the thumb of the beast, all under the thumb of these different nations. That's what you see when you look at the Olympics, when you look, into the demographics of all those different countries. All right, it says, and the 10 horns, so all those nations, it said, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And for the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So those the allies of the U.S., which that's the great whore, they're gonna turn on the U.S. and bomb this place and shoot missiles at this place. They're gonna turn on. All right, and that's what's crazy. Them, Russia. Okay, and I would imagine you probably will have missiles from Iran as well. All right, this place is gonna get destroyed. All right, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, this is that place, man. This is that place. All right, and this shit is real. So, hey, stay watching, stay prayed up. Shalom.